Talk of democracy will mean true representation, and the parliament is the place, and therefore the people must be informed. A program that brings to you expert clarifications and teachings of parliamentary concepts and procedures. Welcome to this program.
Thank you very much.
On Parliamentary Guide, we'll teach, we explain, we clarify parliamentary concepts and terms.
Not value of run oversight over the executive.
Hello and thank you for joining us on this episode of Parliamentary Guide, the program that keeps you abreast with parliamentary issues and concepts. I am Mitaire Ikben. On this episode, we shall be looking at the reserved seats for Women Bill. What is this bill all about and what progress has been achieved in the advocacy? It promises to be interesting with our guest, who I shall introduce in a bit. So stay tuned and don't go away.
Value of run oversight over the executive.
Thanks for staying tuned to discuss the reserved seat for Women Bill, which is our focus on this episode of Parliamentary Guide. I'm being joined by the Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Women Affairs, Representative Kafilat Ogbara, who represents Koshofe Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. She is from Lagos State. Many thanks, Representative Kafilat, for joining the program.
Thank you very much.
Now, the reserved seat for Women Bill is not a new piece of legislation in Parliament. It failed to pass in the 9th Assembly, and the bill is on the march again in this 10th Assembly. What are the synopses of the bill this time around?
Basically, what this special seats bill is requesting for is for us to have reserved seats for our women in the Senate, in the Houses of Assembly, and in the House of Representatives. In the Senate, we are seeking that we have one reserved seat per state for every female senator. We are going to have a woman added to the 3 senators that we have existing in all our states. One more extra. Then, for the House of Representatives, we are also seeking for one extra to be added to the number of House of Representatives members that we have in each state. For example, in Lagos State, we have 24 members, of which I am the only woman there. So this bill is seeking that we have an additional seat that will be a woman that will be added to the 24 to make 25. Meaning all other political parties will present a woman to contest for this special seat. The Houses of Assembly, this bill is seeking that we have 3 Houses of Assembly members that will be female in every state. In Lagos State, we have 40 members representing in the House of Assembly. I'm giving you as an example. So we are going to be having 1 woman per senatorial district to make 43 members in the Lagos State House of Assembly. So it's just as simple as that. It's not a threat to the existing seats for those who want to return, our men that want to return, or their constituents want them to return. So it's just going to be an additional extra because of the historical, imbalance that we have had and that we have had in terms of women representation. And of course, after our public hearing, advocacy, consultations, and everything with relevant stakeholders, the Senate came down to 6 per geopolitical zone. Instead of giving us 37 plus FCT for the Senate as indicated in the bill, as requested in the bill, as the will of the bill, the Senate members in the constitutional review, after everything and every consultation and everything, they trimmed it down to 6 for the whole of the whole country, 1 per geopolitical zone, meaning 1 from the southwest, from the southeast, from the south-south, north central, northeast, northwest, 1 per the zones. So that is what we have for presentation on the floor of the House. But because of other, events, internal issues and all that, the presentation has been halted. We hope that the presentation will be anytime soon. So the special seats bill is just a way of trying to, encourage more women, knowing fully well that women have the population of about half of this country. And when you are taking decisions, whether you are making laws, you are making policies, you are planning, whatever it is we are doing as a government or as a nation, whatever it is we are trying to do, and we don't have the right representation of about half of the population, joining in the decision making, or that you are making those decisions for them, you may not be doing the right thing if they are not on the table to say, oh, why don't you add this? Oh, this is the peculiarity of our need. Oh, we need this more than this. So this is how governance can be more impactful. And this is how, we can be sure we are actually getting it right.
All right, Representative Ogbara, thanks for the enlightenment on the propositions of the reserved seat for women bill. Now, what is the plan for these reserved seats? Are the seats meant to be permanent in the federal and state legislatures if passed into law?
It is going to be reviewed after 4 cycles. It will be reviewed after 16 years. So the passage of this bill is not a permanent law. It's still going to be like almost a temporary law. It's just existing for the next 16 years. Except the House or the National Assembly reviews it and says, oh, the law is still okay. Okay, we want it to go for so period again. So it's just for 16 years. We are just going to be test running and see how impactful this law is going to be. So I am using this medium to appeal to all my colleagues, my wonderful, representatives, the he for she's in the House of Representatives and also in the Senate. You are our fathers, you are our brothers, and we can't do this without you. A lot of you believe in this bill because you know that we are doing it for your sisters, for your daughters, even for your wives. You never can tell. We have members in the House who came in by virtue of the fact that their father died. We have about 2 of them like that. The fathers had won the primary election, and the constituents, the people said, because he died, give us his son. We don't want this thing to go out. So it may just be their wives. I'm not praying for anybody to die, but knowing fully well that the women can't be properly represented. The women have a place, they have a space. We just want to know that the space is there for our women. We have given so much, we have sacrificed so much, we have labored so much for our nation. And what exactly are we getting back in return? So this is the $1 billion question.
Okay, there are those who argue that having more seats in parliament will scale up the cost of governance, of course, which is already considered high in Nigeria. Now, what's your response to this argument?
Well, my response to this is that it's costing us more by not having women representation. Because when you have women representation, issues that concerns children, family, that actually impacts on livelihood and well-being will be better addressed. If you look at what I do in my constituency and what the men do in their constituencies, you find out that I operate more on, life-touching and life-impacting programs that I believe as a mother, where do I think I need to come in that will be, directly impactful, instantly impactful to residents, considering the economic situation and the situation of things. So women will think as mothers, they will think about areas of nutrition, areas of well-being, areas of, ensuring that children are balanced psychologically, emotionally, and all that in school, health-wise, motherhood, pregnant women, how to ensure that women get better health care, and all these things are things that will naturally come to mind for women. So if we don't have more women representation, we'll be lacking a lot in these areas and more. So as it is, if we are talking about just additional, let's say 70 74 seats. 74 seats extra in the Senate and in the House of Rep. But now it has been narrowed down to 42. If we have 36 here, plus FCT 37, plus 6 from the Senate, that will be 43. So 43, I mean, it's not is cheaper than not having women represented.
Let's look at another aspect of the reserved seat for women bill if eventually passed into law. What will be the basis for selection of filling the proposed number of seats?
The basis for selection is going to be from the political parties. All political parties will be presenting women for the special seats. And then INEC will provide the proper electoral and legal framework that will ensure, the constituency to contest, where everybody is coming out and all that. So INEC will be, saddled with the nitty-gritty of that aspect.
And again, some persons think the proposals of this bill should be targeting the political parties. And they say, why not start from the political parties in the advocacy for this bill?
Well, for me, I think this step is a step in the right direction. We have started from somewhere. So one step at a time, we'll get there. For the political parties, I think more women that are holding leadership positions, whether politically and otherwise, whether you are a leader in the banking sector, you are a leader in the legal profession, you are a leader, whichever aspect, even in the market space, women need to start to look out for women. We have to start to promote women, invest in women. The men invest in themselves. So we need more women investing in women. When you see women come out to contest election and they need your support, be there and contribute whatever you can contribute. So this is how we can, even as a woman, if I want to be the national chairman of a political party, I will need the support of everybody, whether men or women, financially, morally, politically and otherwise. So this is one area that I think women have the weakness in. We don't get to support our fellow women, especially financially. Financially, most importantly, we don't get women come up to financially support fellow women. So, and this is very critical. Politics is very expensive, whether in the political party or electoral aspect. You get to spend a lot of money and you can't just do it alone. You need support from family and friends.
You are watching the program Parliamentary Guide on NTA, and our focus is the reserved seats for Women Bill. We take a short break now. Do stay with the program.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki, Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
On Parliamentary Guide, we'll teach, we explain, we clarify parliamentary concepts and terms.
Not violence of run oversight over the executive.
And many thanks for staying with us as we gain more insight into the reserved seat for Women Bill. We still have with us Representative Kafilat Ogbara to provide more insight. Now, Representative Ogbara, what is your response to those who think that the reserved seat for Women Bill is discriminatory, perhaps against men?
Well, if anyone calls that discrimination, they will say that women have been discriminated against for hundreds of years. If you look at Nigeria today, we have never had a female governor elected. We have never had a female governor elected. We have never had a female vice president. We have never had a female president. We have never had a female national chairman in any of our political parties. National secretary, never. The only thing they reserve is women leader, women this, women that. So why not the women? We have capable, eligible women, responsible women, intellectuals. If you look at your schools going back, in the university, in secondary schools, in primary schools, a lot of women top the classrooms. So what makes you think that now women cannot be there? But because the political gatekeepers, they have been there for too long. And before clearance, they believe, it's a woman. No, it's a woman. So that stereotype has been there. The cultural stereotype, the political one, and so many reasons, religious in some cases, and we have battled with this for too long. And we are not saying that we want to compete with the men. We just want to work side by side, to collaborate, to cooperate, and to support them so that we can get Nigeria to her desired destination. You cannot fly with one hand if you want to fly. We need both wings. You need both gender. That gender lens must be balanced.
Now, Representative Ogbara, I remember you sponsored a bill on women representation in the security sector. Now, you might want to give us some insights to tell us what this bill is all about.
Women ensure enforcement. Women always want to get it right. They want to prove that they can do it even better than, the men. So all the time, when you have women at the helm of affairs, you find out that such areas will get even better results, or something more unique than expected. And in terms of our security sector, I also sponsored a bill that has to do with ensuring that women have minimum of 15% representation in terms of recruitment, posting, promotion, and all relevant areas. This will also help to improve our security sector. In the police sector, we have just about 2 or 3 women heading our commands, and the states that they are heading, we find out that we have less of insecurity percentage, and this is because the women are there. It's not that they have the strength, but they have their own techniques. We are different by nature, we are different by creation, and because we are women and we have men, we both have our talents, we both have our human resource, we both have what we give. What I can give as a woman, a man may not and may never be able to deliver it. Not because he doesn't have the intellect or because he doesn't, but because the way I am wired as a woman, I am multitasking. We are the ones that gave birth to the men. We nurtured them. We saw them grow. And, we were there to ensure that they get to where they are. So when we are taking decisions for us, let us be properly positioned. Let us be properly represented so that we can speak to things that actually concerns us. A man cannot talk about reproduction of a woman, childbearing, childbirth, puberty, menstruation, menopause, whatever, all these things. They have no idea. You have no idea. So how do you want to make laws relating to all these areas if the women are not, properly represented? And we also found out that this has become like almost an international embarrassment, because most of the time, if we go to some countries, the right number of women representation that are usually required are never, properly represented in the team that travel. And sometimes we get to lose our votes because the gender balance is not really there. So, and a lot more. So there are different countries that have operated in this light and they are making progress.
Okay, so if eventually the reserved seat for women bill scales through and becomes law, what will be the future advocacy to build on what is being proposed currently?
Well, the future is now. We are not waiting for that time. The planning has to continue. It's a continuous process. We also have a bill. I have a bill in the pipeline on ensuring that we don't have single gender lists presented to the electoral body by any political party, where women have come out to contest, where most of the time, the constituents want the woman, but because of the political gatekeepers, they ensure that the women don't get there. So, but when it becomes a law that in every state you cannot have only women in the House of Assembly, you cannot have only men in the House of Assembly. So, these political gatekeepers will be compelled to choose these qualified women that have, shown their interest to contest and whom the constituents truly and really want to be their representatives. So this is one area. Another angle is that we need, in most cases, where we have a male governor, we should have the woman as the deputy. The twin type, where we have the council chairman as a woman, we should have a man as the vice chairman. So we have to continue to do the gender balancing. It's very important. That is another aspect. And we also need, to promote our women, to sensitize our women, to have proper cohesion and ensure that, the women too, they play their role, they continue to, do what they need to do politically, do even better than what the men do, so that they can get the rightful position. We need women to start becoming the gatekeepers. We need the women to start taking charge of the political parties. We need the women to start taking up those, roles that seem or look challenging, that they think are challenging, that women cannot play. So in this area, when women are charged to take up these roles, then we can be balancing, what we really need to do. If I was not here as a woman, maybe I may not have visited the gender bill to ensure that I represented the gender bill. The deputy speaker also a sponsor. So we have come together to put the bills together as co-sponsors of the bill. So maybe if I was not here, the noise wouldn't have been as much as this because I'm a woman. So these are the factors. When women are there, they are there to represent the interests of the women and of course Nigerians generally.
All right, so what's your message to the women folk to position themselves and leverage on the expected law?
By the grace of God, the bill will be passed. And my message to our women is that when the action or the implementation of this bill gets to our various constituencies, we should be cooperative, we should be able to sacrifice, we should be able to, you know, give and let go and ensure that we don't allow it to cause even more problems for us. Whoever is picked as a woman should be jointly supported, in every way that we can. Even those that are contesting the statutory seats that are not special seats should be supported by every woman in those constituencies. When we have women contesting against the other sex and you know that this is the only woman we have that has come out, let us rally around such a woman, especially if such a woman is, very competent, hardworking, and you know that this woman can deliver, qualified. We should rally around such a woman and ensure that she gets there. Because we know that when she gets there, she'll be looking out for the interests of fellow women and Nigerians generally. So I will appeal to our women that we should continue to support ourselves, love one another, look out for one another, because this will be in the interest of our children and the future of Nigeria. And like I always say, that when a woman is properly positioned, the home is already automatically well positioned and the children are automatically okay. So when every home is properly positioned like that, we know that the society is better for it. It's not until a woman is elected or in the National Assembly. And women need to be empowered in every ramification, in the interest of family, in the interest of the society, and in the interest of the nation at large.
All right, we've been speaking with Representative Kafilat Ugbara, the Chairman House Committee on Women Affairs. We thank you so much for your time and your insights on the program Parliamentary Guide.
Thank you very much.
And that's it on this episode of the program Parliamentary Guide. We thank you for your time. I am Mitaire Ikben. Till we come your way again in another episode, do stay safe and stay out of trouble. Bye for now.